Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just pulled up to Lake Berryessa. Actually haven't been to Lake Berryessa in a while, so figured be a good time to come. It's springtime. The fishing historically for me this time of year has been pretty good, but let's be real, probably anywhere in California or anywhere in the country during the spring, during the spawn, should be pretty good fishing. You know, it was interesting this morning. I left the house around 5 a.m. and as I was driving, I noticed something big, orange and pink in the sky. Big circle, the moon. It was quite large and I was like, okay, looks like we may have a full moon, and that's exactly what we had last night. Did a quick Google search. It looks like it's the pink moon. The reason I bring that up is because I'm not particularly one that pays attention to the moon phases and plans my fishing accordingly. I just kind of go and fish when I can, but I do tend to look at the moon phases after a really tough day of fishing, or at least I've done so in the past. And I would say 9 times out of the 10, when I've had a really tough day of fishing and I looked at the moon phase, it seems to be right on the day of or before a full moon. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is moon phases, specifically the full moon around fishing, if it helps the bite, if it hurts it, how many days before or after you guys tend to have better success fishing around a full moon, and maybe even more specifically in the springtime. With that being said, I'll just be interested to see how the bite is today, whether it's good, bad, maybe something in between. And I'd also be interested to see if potentially this full moon, one thing I do know, or one thing that's popular opinion and pretty well documented, that the fish tend to spawn around a full moon. So I want to say there's been at least that big wave of spawning fish out here in California about 3-4 weeks ago. They're done doing their thing. They've moved off the bed, but I'll be curious to see if today when we head out, if we do see an abundance of fish up shallow on bed, maybe because of this full moon. But anyways, it is just about 7 o'clock. Gonna get the kayak loaded up, ready to go, hit the water. We'll spend, I don't know, 7-8 hours out on Berryessa today. It should be a gorgeous day. The sun has just come up, low winds, should get into the 70s. We'll just go fishing and see what happens. Take you guys with me as always. Here we go. Alrighty, let's get started, guys. I think it's only fair that we start with a little topwater. Why not? I've already seen some bait up shallow, like big schools of bait. Man, water is crystal clear too. If they're up on bed, we'll definitely be able to see them. And I don't know if we'll do bed fishing or just blind cast for them, but I don't know. I'd imagine that in this particular lake, fish are in all 3 phases right now. Pre-spawn, spawn, look, right there. Not a huge bait ball, but bait up shallow. But I bet you they're in pre-spawn, spawn, and post-spawn fish. Fish that are done spawning and chasing bait now, or fry garden. Just got to find those right areas and get those fish to eat. See, this water is crystal clear. Oh, I just saw a good one way down in about 12. Just getting the feel. I mean, I'm going to be probably going shallow and looking most of the day, but can't be afraid to throw out deep too, maybe, for pre and post spawn fish. This water is gin clear. These fish could be a little spooky. Man, this gorgeous lake though. When this water's up, the habitat it provides, stunning. It's so cool to see everything in the water, and with clarity, being able to see what's under the water. I love it. Oh, there's one right behind me. Dude, it's like overwhelming right now. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should go shallow, deep, or what bait to throw. Oh, I had one following in. Oh, dang it, that sucks. Oh man, a big one followed it in. Big old crappie over here. Oh my god. Well, there's definitely fish kicking around here. Big old carp. I just gotta figure out how to get them to bite. There are bass cruising everywhere. There's some small ones down there, but there's some really big ones as well. Wonder if I have to go with a drop shot to trick some of these fish. These fish could be a little spooky. It's really clear water. I don't really care how I catch them, as long as we can get them to bite. A little finesse worm, drop shot should do the trick. It shouldn't take long. On the amount of fish I've been seeing, should not take long at all. So I know it's way too early to say anything, but the fact that I just went through that area with so many fish, even with that little drop shot, and didn't get a bite, makes me slightly concerned that these fish are in a funky mood. Just slightly. I'm not worried yet. I'm slightly raising an eyebrow right now. That just kind of didn't make sense. Of course I had a follower on it. Big follower. Dude, these fish are not biting. I cannot believe how many freaking fish there are. How is this possible? This is like the most frustrating thing ever. This has to be a dream. That confidence meter, I don't even know if I can call it a confidence meter. I'm going to call it more of a concerned meter. There's 0% concern at the beginning of a fishing day. I'm up to, I mean, based on what I've seen, areas I fished, fish just following the boat, cruising around, I'm like up to 50% concerned right now. Not even the dinks are biting this. That's not good, man. Look at all these fish. I just threw my Senko right here. And not even a dink bit. That is, oh boy, oh boy. How does not a single one of these fish bite? Golly, look at the giants around here. Oh my God. What do I do? There are fish everywhere. On the other side, this is one of those monster bait balls, but nothing's busting through it. That's the problem. Have to run right into it. A monster bait ball. Oh my God, look at that thing. Check this out. Look at them all. See what I'm saying? There are so many freaking bass down there. Carp, bluegill. Why are you guys not biting? It is so sad. Oh look, one did follow it. Look at that. Okay. You know what? So that could be a hint. They might only react to chase a bait today. The only thing that I can think of that I'm hoping is the case is these fish that we've seen so far, both the same, kind of like on a point leading into a spawning bay. These trees, they're just cruising around. Oh look, oh never mind, it's a carp. They're just pre-spawn fish or whatever. They want to get up on bed, but they're in that funky stage, they're not sure. And the only thing I'm hoping is that I'm just targeting the wrong class of fish. Because I think the drop shot and like stuff like that. I think those are more for like fish on bed, you know, where you're actually putting it in front of their face and they have to eat it or react or whatever. Where I'm throwing it around these fish and they're not on bed, they're just cruising around. So they see a worm or whatever drop in front of them, doesn't really matter. It doesn't look like anything they'd eat right now. But it is interesting that every time I've thrown this little swim bait, at least one of these fish follows it in. It has to mean something. Oh my god, finally. Swim baity. Oh man. Well, that's what you guys want, huh? At least this group of fish. Interesting, man. Crystal clear water. I saw that fish just look at that bait as it went by its head. She bit. Alright, that lowers the concern meter. You know, I said that these are pre-spawn fish, but you know what? They could be post-spawn fish too. I think the pre and the post-spawn fish kind of end up in the same zones. A couple of toad bass. A 7-pounder right there. Right, that's a giant bass right there. Dang. Well, little fellas. Yeah, these might be post spawners. Oh, smallmouth. There's one on the bed right there, but I don't know how locked it is. Hey, but any chance to practice my bed fishing, right? Gotta take advantage. All right, buddy. Just gonna get you in the boat real quick. I'll put you right back. Gotcha that time. Thank you. Man, oh man. You were a lot tougher than I thought you'd be. There you go, buddy. Appreciate you. Give me a little practice. So I don't know what's going on this year. Like, just bedfish. Definitely able to hook them, like get a hook in them, and they're just flopping off. I don't know if the hook's too weak or what. It's a 3/0 EWG. I don't know. That one came in the boat, luckily. Ooh, that one kind of looked aggressive. Oh, wow, that what's weird is that fish is not on a bed, it's like on grass. I did not think that fish would bite. That fish, like, is sitting on a clump of grass. I don't think it's a bed. Like, it's all aggressive. It's like the perfect color for here because there's so many crappie around here. But it also is like a lighter color, so you can see it that much better in the water. You can tell when one sucks it in. There he comes. That's usually where they come off, is when they jump. Oh, it's a good one. Good one. I cannot believe that fish was that aggressive. No net. There we go. Oh, dude. Well, bed fishing is what it is, but look at this. Oh, never mind. I thought there was another. It's just my weight. I thought he had another hook in his mouth. All right, thank you, sir. Man, you were aggressive. Yeah, sometimes they're real finicky, and sometimes they just can't stand that bait being there. Starting to get a little better sense, I think, as to what these fish like their mood. There's a large one. Very large one. Oh my god, I actually caught one on a drop shot? Weird. Spotty. Wonder if you were on that bed though, you know. That's a good one. Look at. Alright, day's getting better. I'm happy I caught one on a drop shot though. I got one to bite. Whoop. Never mind. Good little spot though. Right at the base of that tree. I'm guessing that one was on a bed. 10:30. It's about time. Meat stick time. Shout out Righteous Felon. Meat sticks, craft jerky. You guys know this is my go-to kayak snack. Filling, healthy, and easy to eat. The three components of eating on a kayak. There's that same fish. It's like not on a bed. It's just like a grass clump. It's like nosing right down on it. Not as aggressive as the other one, but it isn't shy. It's weird. Some fish spook away and they're just cruising. Others are just mean. It's gotta be this cast right here. It's gotta be. Man. Nice. Man. Weird. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like algae and grass. There's no circle or, you know, what you think would be a bed. Weird. There we go. Not a dink, but it's a jumper. Oh my god! Smallie. Big smallie. Wow, I did not expect that. I'm relaxed now, it's not a tournament. If it was a tournament, I'd be freaking out, reaching for the net already. I think maybe that's been my problem lately. I'm trying to get these fish in the boat too quick. I need to play them a little bit more. Oh, he's gonna do it again. Whew, there's a nice brown one. That is a beauty right there. Healthy, healthy fish. Not a giant, but just a healthy fish right there. All right, there's a nice brown one. Whew. That was one of the highest jumps I think I've ever had a fish perform on me with the acrobatics. I wonder if that one was on a bed. I'd be willing to bet yes. And we landed on the bed and she bit. That's what I think happened there, but you just never know. I could do that again. Oh, wow. Definitely some fish that want the swim bait. Did bring a popper. No Chapo though. Kind of underprepared for this trip. See, that's why you can never have too many rods or too much tackle. Oh, there's bait getting chased over there. Pretty sure. They seem little, but whatever. Could be some better ones back there with them. Yeah, some bait eaters. There's so much of it. Oh, he kind of smells. It's a fun bite. There's some better ones in the mix, just too many dinks to compete with, I think. Look at that bait ball. There's a couple back here, a couple massive balls. I don't want to waste too much more time on these micros. That might be a female on a bed. Just actually nosing it. Wow. It's a big one. It's a 5-pounder right here. Maybe bigger. A male and a female. We got a pair. Come on, big girl. She's looking right at it. Oh, she took a nip at it. She took a nip at it. It's a big fish, man. I mean, if it was just a small one, I wouldn't really spend too much time on it, but this one might be worth some time. It's a big one. The male got it. The male has it. Phew, got the male to spit it. That's good. Oh, she had it. Dude, it's crazy. It's like there's a pattern going on. It's when the male gets it and he spits it. It's like he misses it. I'm not setting obviously on the male, but after he spits it and this is still on the bed, that's when the female will come in and crack at it. It's weird. I like need the male to eat this bait for that one to get fired. Alrighty, buddy, putting you in the game. This bait, this exact bait actually, has caught more big fish off a bed than any other bait that I own or have used. Let's see if you come through once again. Huddleston Deluxe, a pretty janky stinger hook assembly. They cannot stand this bait on their bed. This first cast in, she's gonna be like, what the heck is that? Oh, she had it. She did it. I gotta drag it through the nest. That's the male. Dang. See, you can tell the female's a giant because this is the male. Female is right there. That's either going to entice her to bite or it's going to spook her off. She's over there now. She's not concerned about the bed. Yeah, that could have been a situation where I could have set the hook on the male like a million times and kind of got lazy and did it. Let's hope he goes back. She's cruising around now. Yeah, I'm going to give her about 1 minute to come back to the bed. And if she doesn't, then we goof this one up. And that's it. Screwed it up. I mean, I had opportunities. The female definitely ate the bait a couple of times. Just I didn't swing on her. I wasn't close enough. I couldn't really see. And now that we caught the male, she is sayonara. So that's just the thing about bed fishing. You have a chance for a really big fish and you can see it, of course, but there's so many opportunities for you to lose that fish or have that fish get scared away by something you do, and you can waste all that time and it's for nothing. Shame, old shame. That was a big one, a real big one. It even has, like, you can see like the bug eyes on it. Yeah. That's a big old girl. She didn't get that big by being dumb. I mean, it looks really dang fishy over here, right? know what to throw. Throw. Gosh. This water being up, it's just like I mean, it is a totally different lake. A better lake. .130, just crossed over into the flooded trees. I don't know, it's kind of been a weird day. Like, obviously we've caught some fish, mainly on the bed, the better ones that is, but I think the bite is kind of goofy still. It's not on fire. Can rule out the fact that the moon didn't set this place up for a crazy good bite, but I guess a potential theory could be that the moon brought up more fish into that like staging area, and those were the ones we're seeing a lot of. And oh wow, well, that was cool. These guys always interrupt me when I'm talking. It's all right, you guys can interrupt, no worries. Good one, big one with it too. Man, that's a good one. A little largy. First popper fish of 2024. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do in these trees, right? All right, there we go. Nice one. Look, a bunch of them down there too. Okay, lost my train of thought. Talking about the moon and the fish that moved up. They're not like littered on beds or anything like that. But I think potentially maybe that full moon just brought up a new wave of fish that are about to get on bed. Maybe that's a more likely theory. You were following this popper the whole time. That would have sucked. Oh, tell me they followed it out. I don't... Man, it's these giant bass around here that are just not catchable. They're not on bed, or I don't know what. Finally, dude, there's just so many cruising around. You think that you finally see one on a bed, it's like hitting the lottery because they're like catchable. The ones on beds are catchable. Cruisers just like forget about it. It's a decent one on a bed, a 3-pounder. Oh, I hit the sweet spot. Oh, there was a sweet spot. Oh, God. God, I suck at bed fishing. Oh my God, this fish is tricky. It's quick on the trigger. Ah, finally got you. Jeez. Man, that one was tough to catch. Ah, God, dang it. See, I don't get it. They come off so much. Like, is it bending this hook out and just coming off? God, it's so frustrating. I got a tournament coming up too, and bed fishing could be a player. I'm gonna have to really tune up this game. This bed fishing deal ain't working for me. My gosh. See if I can put this one in the boat. He's nosing it. All right, here we go. This is it right here. Catching him right now. There we go. Finally got you. Choked it too. Man, you really got it. Alrighty. See? Solid fish. Solid fish. I don't know. Maybe I should start swinging fish, like bedfish. Keep that tension on them and bring them right to the boat, you know? I didn't want to like bedfish this much, but it seems like the only chance for some better fish is going to be looking at them. Did that not seem like something eating? Right? That, oh man, I'm going to have to do a little replay action on the GoPro. But that seemed like a feeding fish. Go back to the topwater? I don't know. It's like too much information. Stimulus, sensory overload. Just all the visual targets and seeing fish and some fish busting and beds. It's like too much. Whoop. Guess that was a topwater fish. Oh, that's a good one too. What the heck? Oh, that's a good one. All that popper in his mouth. Come here, buddy. Oh, yeah. Whew. Almost messed that nut job up. But we got her. A big fish of the day. Not a giant, but man, these fish are just solid. There's so many of these fish like this size just cruising around. Let's see. Yeah, look at them in the water. It's about the same size as a ton of the same size fish. Son of a gun. Oh, I was looking elsewhere. Yeah, I got a little one on the topwater. Easy to catch, but I'll see. There's the male. The male. Man, they're all so good. These aren't even the big fish right here. Golly. This lake's got some healthy ones in it. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. It's the male, too. Alrighty folks, just about 5:30 and that is going to do it for our day out on Lake Berryessa. As mentioned in the beginning of this video, I noticed on my way up this morning that we had a full moon, and based on my history of having really bad and tough fishing on full moons, I was curious to see what it would do today, mainly because it is springtime and I think there's a difference in the time of year for full moons. But you know what, it kind of held true as to what I found in the past with full moons. We'll just say the bite wasn't like on fire. We started out this morning, I knew they should be shallow, some fish probably bedding, actually fish in probably all stages of the spawn, but really focusing on 10 foot or less. And with this water being so clear, I mean, you could just stand up and see all the fish swimming around or that were on beds. And that's really what we found in the first couple of hours, was just a ton of like cruising fish. And it was such a bummer because I don't know how many 3 to 6 pound fish I saw cruising today, but it was pretty insane. You know, my only theory, and I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but my only theory is maybe that full moon pulled some of those deeper fish that maybe haven't spawned yet up in that 10 foot or less range, and those fish fish were kind of staging, getting ready to get on bed. I also think some of those fish were post-spawn fish as well, but those fish were just super tough to catch. You'd think this time of year you could just go down the bank with a drop shot or a wacky worm and just go to town on them, and I just did not get a single bite on them all day. Maybe one or two, but that was it. Saw some bait balls. Definitely a primary forage out on this body of water, and when they're on bait, you definitely want to be throwing bait imitators. So figured, all right, well, if we're not getting them on the worms, let's throw a little tiny swim bait. And really that was the ticket to get a few bites, because a lot of fish were actually following it in. You could tell that they were interested in it. Ended up catching a couple on it, mainly some small ones. Unfortunately, I didn't have a jerk bait or a spy bait with me, but I feel like those two baits would have excelled today as well. You know, as I was making my way around the lake, I did see a few fish on bed. Some were obvious, some weren't. You know, it's kind of a mixed bag as far as how the bite was. Some I'd have to work on for a while, some would bite right away. That little gilly in the size 90, a perfect bed fishing bait. Definitely did a lot more bed fishing today than I thought I would, but I know I need the practice, and with a couple of tournaments coming on up that could be a factor regarding bed fishing, I wanted to get a little practice, just get some confidence doing it, and I gained some confidence doing it today. I think I'm just playing the fish too much. I think I really just gotta force them in and swing them in the boat. Don't let them turn on me. But it was a pretty slow morning overall, so I decided to make a move, go into another part of the lake that had a lot of trees, a lot of bushes in the water. One of the coolest parts about this body of water, now that it's full, is a lot of that cover. Those fish relate to it, and saw a ton, I mean a ton of fish over by those flooded trees and bushes. It really did look like a Bass Pro Shops aquarium. But decided to take out a Topwater of all things, a little bullet pop, and actually caught a fish on that. Threw that around for a while, mixed it up with some more bed fishing, caught a couple of bed fish, lost a couple, ended up catching I think a couple more on the popper. Yeah, I mean, I spent a good 9 hours out there today. I probably only had maybe 4 or 5 keepers, which is not good considering how many I saw, but it really was either bed fishing for me today or a little swim bait or a Topwater, and that's how I get my bites. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not sure what to think about the full moon. I'd be curious to see how the bite is 3 days from now in those same areas. A lot of those cruisers are locked up on beds, if they're just easier to catch. I don't know. Yeah, guys, I'm all loaded up. I'm going to head home, but as always, I thank you for watching, for coming along, and I'll see you guys in the next one.